Warriors NRL fanatics, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and this is going to be my round 2 game preview between the Gold Coast Titans and the New Zealand Warriors, and this is going to be my round 6 game review between the Sydney Roosters and the New Zealand Warriors.
Strong, I think they're pretty even, bro. I'll probably take the Cowboys just because there's a little bit more experience.
Warriors NRL fanatics, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and before getting into the video, this channel is sponsored by Manscaped. It is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Get 20% off all Manscaped products using the discounted code, which is Warriors NRL. Both of those words are all in capital letters, and go to www.manscaped.com. So let's get into it. So I'm going to talk about my top 5 preferred options to take over the Warriors head coaching role for the 2023 season. Now, as you know, Nathan Brown is no longer the head coach now, and taking over as the interim coach is Stacey Jones for the rest of the 2022 season. And now we've got to think about who's going to take over for the next couple of years. And, you know, there's quite a few names already been thrown out there, and I'm going to give my opinions on who I think the 5 options are that will take over as the number 1 head coach for us going into the next couple of years. Now, starting off at number 5, I've gone with Paul Greene, and I know this is not going to be a popular decision or option as a preferred head coach, but he has coached 150 games of experience in the NRL. He's also won a premiership with the North Queensland Cowboys in 2015. I know since then, you know, he had some lean times, and that's why the Cowboys decided to move him on. But he's got tons of experience. 150 games is plenty of games as a NRL head coach, and he's done pretty well. So he'd be my 5th option. Number 4, I've gone with Michael Maguire. Now, Madge, as he's well known as, West Tigers, you know, there's been talks around him being sacked for a long, long time from West Tigers. And look, I think when he was at the West Tigers, it wasn't all his fault, you know. I don't think he had the roster to compete. You know, he didn't have a good board, you know. The Tigers board's been talked about for many years. And I think Maguire, you know, he's won a premiership with Souths in 2014. He's coached over 250 games of NRL level. He's a passionate guy too, Michael Maguire, and he's well known for it, and he pushes the boundaries in training. He's a hard-nosed type coach. And look, Mark Robinson, the New Zealand Warriors owner, has already come out and ruled him out and said that's probably unlikely to happen, that they're going to get Michael Maguire. But you never say never. And look, he's currently coaching New Zealand Kiwis as well, which might give him a chance of potentially getting a NRL gig with the Warriors. But yeah, look, he'd be my 4th option. Number 3, I've gone with Stacey Jones. Now, I know he's got no experience in the NRL coaching ranks, but he is a club legend. You know, he's taken the reins of the under-20s team. He's worked with the Pathways and the New South Wales Cup team as well. And look, you know, he's a player that's, you know, been most loved at the club for a long, long time. So, look, I think if Stacey Jones can get a couple of good results at the back end of the season, that would put him in good stead to take over as a head coach. I know he hasn't said any ambitions yet on taking over as the head coach for the Warriors in the future, but look, I think there's a potential for him to maybe take that job in 2023. My 2nd option, I've gone with Christian Wolf. Now, this is a guy who has been talked about a lot lately as one of the early contenders to land the role at the club. Now, he's had plenty of success. He's won 2 Super League titles at St. Helens and 1 Challenge Cup. And he's also the current coach of the Tongan National Rugby League team, who had a famous win over Australia back in 2019. And, Christian Wolf's coaching record now, it reads a modest 77%, which is very good actually. 70% is not too bad in terms of coaching in rugby league. Now, he's got a connection with the Pacific Island players, and I think that will give him sort of an advantage in the race to get the Warriors head coaching role. So he would be my second option to take over as the Warriors coach. Now, on to number one. Now, I've gone with Shane Flanagan. Now, Shane Flanagan has coached 180 games of NRL experience. He helped the Cronulla Sharks to a maiden premiership back in 2016. And when he was the Sharks coach, the Sharks had a few struggling years. I think they were contenders near the bottom half of the ladder. Then Sharks started to rebuild and get some, consistency in their results. And that 2016 grand final, they were massive underdogs going into that against the Melbourne Storm, and they won that premiership, and they beat the Storm team who had a lot of good players in it. So Shane Flanagan's done pretty well in the NRL. He's got a pretty good record, and there's tons of experience involved as well that Shane Flanagan has had. But my only question with Shane Flanagan is, there's a Sydney club out there, lots of the Bulldogs and the West Tigers, those two teams that, are still looking for a coach as well. And, Shane Flanagan's son, Kyle Flanagan, plays for the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So, look, unfortunately, I think it's unlikely we'll get Shane Flanagan. I'd love to see us get him. I think he'd really work at the club. I think his systems would help out, actually. And, I think he would do a pretty good job in helping getting this team to where it needs to be and show that potential being a final side. So, Shane Flanagan is my preferred option. But I don't think he's going to come to the club, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong here. I hope I come back to this video and later on track and say I was wrong. But yeah, look, Shane Flanagan for me is my preferred option for the coaching role for the Warriors. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Who is your preferred coaching option for the Warriors to take over the role? I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. And look, if you're new to the channel and you're watching these videos now, I'd appreciate it if you do subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. And it shows your support as well. And click the thumbs up on the video, click the bell so you don't miss a notification when I do a new video or when I go live on the channel. And look, I'll see you all in the next one.